In this video, we are going to talk about your mindset, your audience, and how to do that extra 1% to make the content that's worth watching. Hi, let's talk. Starting from scratch. Is that a good idea? In 2023, is starting from scratch a good idea? I mean, some people you don't have a choice. Let's say you woke up this morning and you're like, you know what? I'm starting a YouTube channel today, and it's going to be about making structures out of popsicle sticks. And I've got 100 different ideas of things that I want to do. Great. Good for you. You do that. I think it's really important to express your creativity in the way that you are most comfortable doing that. Now, you may also be asking yourself, well, this is crazy. Why would I do that? Why would I make content about popsicle sticks? Right? And the same question could be asked here. I'm making content with Snazzy about content, which is a crazy concept, but we've learned so much in our journeys as creators. You need to believe that out there in the world of YouTube and the viewers on YouTube, which are billions of people, that out there is your audience. And I'm talking to you, my audience, right now. Knowing that you're out there looking for advice on starting YouTube or other content creation. And what is your content creation? Tell me what it is. We want to look into whatever facet it is that you're interested in. I want you to come here with your content creation hopes and dreams ready to go. Or maybe you don't quite know what it is, and that's okay. But you're struggling with the motivating parts, which comes a lot with why we chose to use this depleted battery for our logo. Because sometimes when you're in the midst of content creation, your mental space starts to degrade. You get caught up in the numbers, the people, and wondering like, is this going to reach anyone? And I'm guilty of that. I mean, when I watch a video that takes off, I'm like, wow, look at that. That's crazy. How do I do that again? How do I do that again? It's possible to do it again over and over and over to find your audience and make something that they are going to be interested in. When you are feeling depleted and just like, I need that extra push, come here. And I'm going to tell you, you got this. You can make content about popsicle stick statues or whatever it is that you're doing, because your creative brain, your brain, all of our brains were designed from birth, potentially before in the cosmos of whatever it is that you believe. Our brains are engineered to create. Like mankind makes stuff. That's what we do. And content creation in what you're passionate about just fires all of those innate, natural, creative needs. And I've found that when I'm creating something, that's when I feel like I'm like peak humanity. You know what I mean? And maybe I'm not designing like the next rocket ship that's going to space. My brain wants to be able to create stuff that people enjoy and people want to watch and people want to learn and grow from the things that I have to say or that Snazzy has to say, or the people that come on to our podcast to express their adventure in content creation, whether it's live streaming or whatever it is. Everyone's experience is going to be unique. However, just because your experience is unique doesn't mean that you can't emulate what others have done to be successful. And one of those things is your audience. Your audience is right there. They're out there. They're ready for you. You just got to find them. And I'm not saying like spend $300 in marketing to find your audience. Your audience is out there right now, and you have to tell your brain, hey, brain, my viewers aren't just one person or 10 people or 100 people. There's millions of people out there who can benefit from the type of content that I'm making. Because if your intention is to help people and make content that inspires people, that's what being a content creator should be all about. Don't worry about the numbers or the monetization and those things. Are those things awesome and a cool part of content creation? Of course. Of course. Like, don't get me wrong. Of course, those parts are awesome. But as soon as you take the person out of your content and that I'm talking to someone who needs inspiration and motivation to keep going, to help their mental health come back into a more regulated state or whatever it is. People love watching content because it helps them feel good. When you're in the bushes of content creation and you can't really see over your eye level because the weeds are up to here and you're like, when do I post here? How do I post that? Should I post shorts? Should I post long form content? When should I do my next episode for my podcast or whatever it is you're worried about? Take a step back, take a deep breath, write some ideas down. Or if you don't have any ideas, write some goals or some positive words of encouragement. If you can't think of goals, like sit down and be like, I believe that my audience is 10 million strong, and that they're out there and that they will come because I have something that will help inspire them. And yes, that goes into projecting and it gives you vision. It convinces your brain that you have a vision for what you're doing that's bigger than where you're at right now. And it will take time and it may not take time. Sometimes because you're doing all the right things, those people and the audience you're trying to reach, they show up. And if something flops, we posted a short. It's we're not going to take it down, but we posted a short, and the algorithm tried pushing it out to 50 people, and like 4 people watched it, and it was like a 92% swipe away rate or something. And instead of getting discouraged by those types of moments, we are working on having a positive mental attitude about it and saying, okay, that didn't work. Why didn't it work? It doesn't mean delete every video that doesn't do well because it may do well eventually. But what it means is you need to look at that content that you made and you may be proud of it. We're proud of it. We're proud of what we make. Look at that content and figure out what about it could I change or do better? I live under the mindset of I want to push something out and every time I push out something new, I want to make it, just a tiny bit better than my last one. You do that 1% increase, an extra 1% a day can put you ahead 10 days, in 10 months, in a year. For example, if I spend an extra 1% of my efforts today to clean up my kitchen, that extra 1% that I could have just sat down and scrolled on TikTok or something for an hour. Instead, I took that hour or 30 minutes or whatever, and I put it towards tidying up my kitchen. Well, now tomorrow, my kitchen is in wonderful shape. So I don't have to worry about that tomorrow. And in a way, I've gained a little bit of time because I don't have to stress out about if my house is put back together. How do you apply that to content creation? If you made a short or you made a long form video and it didn't work out, didn't succeed, your extra 1% is seeing where the audience dropped out, see where people weren't interested in that video whenever those analytics come in, and then step back, go to the video yourself and be like, okay, what do I do differently to keep people's attention? And by applying that 1% to the mishap, I won't call it a mistake, to the mishap of it not being what you wanted it to be, but applying that little bit of effort to learn why it didn't work means that next time you won't make that mistake again. 'Cause you're learning over time. Content creation is a process of learning and growing. And those growing pains can hurt. Something we talked about in the pilot episode of our podcast is the concept of maintaining good mental health. Because content creation can be very mentally taxing. The pressures of social media and like how many likes did we get on this? How many likes did I get on that Instagram post? How many likes did I get on that Facebook story? How much interaction did I get on a YouTube short or on a TikTok? All of that pressure, especially if it's not going as well as you'd hoped, can be very mentally taxing. I've gotten caught up in the numbers in the past. And when I get caught up in the numbers on YouTube or on TikTok, it's kind of like, well, then why do I even post anymore? Like, why am I making content if no one's watching? And if you do that, but you're passionate about whatever it is that you're making, you can't let those little mental relapses convince you to stop posting because somewhere out there is your audience. If you continue to do that 1% and fine tune your content, then in a few videos later, you'll see that now you're raking in those types of people that are interested in what you're saying. Change your mindset, picture your audience bigger than it is now because you want to talk to those people. Yes, and you want to talk to the people you have, but they're included in that because they're already here. So they're included in your circle already, and you want to grab out and bring in more because the more like minded people you can gather together into your little space or your big space, the more content you're going to make that impacts people's lives and makes a difference. Trick your brain into that bigger audience, make your whole entire thought process be if it doesn't go well, that's okay because I'm going to do the extra 1%. I'm going to say, why did that not do well? How do I make it better next time? The last thing I would say is have fun. If content creation and your project or your game or your photos on Instagram or if whatever it is that you have found is the thing that you're passionate about, have fun with it. Because if you if you make it to where it's taxing and a job feels like a job and like you have to do it or else it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to be fun. And what's the point of content creation if you're not having fun? Because your audience is going to know. They're going to know you're not having fun. So, have fun, have a good mental attitude, and project your audience. Project to them, find them. They're out there, bring them in. Oh, and before you go, leave your brainstorming thoughts in the comments so we can talk about it. I want to have sessions with you. You got this. Go make content. Make a difference. Subscribe.